Hey guys, good morning. So I figured I would do a video again. It just seems a lot easier. And then you guys can kind of listen to it than like typing out and like giving suggestions on each template. And I feel like if everyone watches this, they can hear about all the different messages, and that will give you guys some tips. Um, just know, I'm just giving you guys tips. Like, I don't want you to feel discouraged if I give you some ideas on your messages. So just take it with what, sorry, I'm like a lot going on this morning. Just don't feel discouraged by me giving you some tips. This is just to help you guys and just for you guys to be even more successful with your messages. So there also know that I'm going to give you some tips, but I also want you to make sure you make it sound like you as well. So just be really careful. I know I talked about this with messaging and taking templates from us that it's going to sound cookie cutter if you just copy and paste. So you got to put something in there that's you. So just be careful in that too. So I'm just going to kind of go through. I'm not going to call out who said what, but I'm going to just kind of scroll through and give you some tips on maybe something better to say. So, okay, so the first one is, and I've seen this one around before, and I did used to use it, but I just feel like it doesn't really get a conversation going because a lot of people have seen the rap at least. And so they're not as intrigued as I think they once were. Like when no one had heard about it, they were like, "What is that rap? I don't know." And it was easy to build a conversation off. So I do feel like you should take time and talk a little bit more about your message. So Jennifer, I love this message, and I used to use it a lot, but I just feel like it doesn't work as well as it used to. So the whole, hey, I just started doing this, it works global, that's an awesome one. I usually then will talk a little bit about them. So when you are sending out messages, make sure that you're making it all about them and not about you. So don't make it all, oh, I just started doing this business, this is how amazing the company is, let me tell you everything about it. Really make it about them. So make it why you wanted to message them. I would take a second to why maybe you are intrigued by this business. Like for me, I talked about, I loved that it works head of heart for giving back and being the debt free and like the Dave Ramsey way. And that was something that intrigued me. But then I'll talk about, them and why I think they would be amazing. Like I thought that, I've been thinking about messaging them for a while. They're super positive. They're really encouraging. I would just love to work with them. So the whole, like, have you tried that crazy rap thing? I just feel like it doesn't build a conversation with them. So I know you probably all have seen that around a lot, and it was used a lot. I just don't feel like it gets conversation going. So, and if you've noticed, a lot of people don't respond or say, yeah, I've heard of it, and then that's it, and you're like, okay, well, what do I say next? So I usually like to end it at, have you ever thought of doing something like this before, or have you ever thought of making extra income? And I really love that too, the way that I like ending it like that. So with my messages, and I feel like doing it like that has been really helpful with conversations starting, at least building. So yeah, that's kind of how I like to do it. So like I said, Jen, I'm sure you've seen that on a lot of pages. I just don't feel like, have you heard of that crazy rap thing really builds conversation, which you probably have noticed in that. Or they've like, yeah, I've heard of it, but I'm not interested, or like they don't even give it a chance to really talk about it. So that's just tip I would do, is make it a little bit longer in a message. Talk about, hey, I don't know if you've seen what I've been doing, but really talk about why you've been thinking about them and why they'd be great, and maybe make one point of what makes it works different, of why you joined or something special about it. So the giving back, it's a huge give back thing. We have the huge give back foundation, or the debt free, all about being debt free. Do something a little bit. I feel like this kind of set us apart, and that feel like gives people more, at least a chance to talk to you, or maybe wouldn't blow you off as quickly because they say, oh, that's something different that I haven't seen before. So Another thing is, okay, so our next one, Tristan, work without. Sorry, I'm like just kind of going along. I like it. It'd be so fun to work with you. I would just make it more personal on like why, again, like why you like it works, like maybe something unique. I just feel like I'm gonna repeat this a lot. I just feel like people have seen a lot of people working from home and doing these different businesses all over the place. But so they've seen that, they know that people are working from home, they know people are doing it, people are asking them to do it too, but they really need to see something that's unique and something that's going to catch their eye. So really take time to make something specific. I really like to talk about the debt-free thing and giving back. Some people don't care so much about that, so maybe it's the fact that they don't do cars or things, but they give cash, and that's a big deal to you, and sharing that. I just feel like it really makes, if anything, they'll just be impressed with it works that they do something like that. So I just really feel like that's important to make it unique and make it works unique when you are messaging them. So I think it's good. But just asking them, hey, have you ever thought of doing something like this before? Instead of just saying, hey, can I send you more info? Just to get them talking. Maybe they'll have a little bit more of a conversation with you about it. Let's see. And the other thing you want to be careful with too, like as you're messaging people, I saw this in a few of your guys's, but saying like, hey, join my team, or using lingo that they don't really understand, or like perk points or different things like that. Like they don't understand that. So I try not to use any like it works lingo. I don't even like to really use Ruby or anything like that. Like I'll say maybe a bonus or extra income or something like that, but I don't like to like put like, hey, you want to make, you could be a Ruby and make $500 a month, or, something like that. It's just a lot of lingo that they don't understand. So I really try to get rid of all of that. Don't say join my team, because that's really just making it about you instead of about them. And you really want to come across it's about them, and that you care about them and you want to talk to them and really make it specific to them. So just be careful and like just don't use those lingos. Let's see. When you do tell them, like, I think you'd be amazing at it, like, tell them why. Tell them why, what are some things about them that you think that they would be good at. So really talk more about it. Let's see. I really do think you guys need to just go back and ask more of, has this been something have you ever thought about doing something like this? Or have you asked, do you want to make extra income? This whole like, should I send you info? Like, do you think you'd be interested? Or have you heard of it works? Like, I just feel like people don't really take time they probably heard about it. This is just tips on when I've messaged people and when I've kind of like tweaked that. It just seems that it's helped a lot. And really just making specific, what are things that, if it's like bought groceries or made extra money so you could go on a trip, like talk about those things. Don't just say we make extra income and it's great. Like tell them why, make it personal of like what it's actually done for you. Because that's just like, it's just too general, and it really is, they're like, okay, well, I've seen that, like, yeah, I've seen that post, but like what is it really doing for you? Like they need to be able to like think about, I could use that extra money to like pay off student loans, and that's what you're doing with it. Or really so that they can connect to it of something, that's like reality for me. Like I need extra money to help pay for groceries, or I want extra money to like go on a cruise or whatever it is. So don't just say like, yeah, it's been great for my family, but like tell them why it's been great for your family. And then the other thing is don't ask them too many questions so they can actually answer the questions. So like if you've got like four or five questions in your message, maybe pull it back a little bit and maybe and always end it with a good question, not just like what do you think or get back to me. Like really ask a very intentional question at the end. Like again, I'm just saying it just really helped me saying, have you ever thought of or have you ever thought of something like this before? Would you want to ever make extra income? Like that I feel like that really opens up the conversation. Another thing is don't assume that these are the things that they're going to be bothered with. Like Emily, you said, I know a lot of people are hesitant to join before they try the products. Don't just assume that's something they're going to be bothered with, because maybe they weren't even thinking that until you said it. So just be careful on that. So you can obviously, like, if they mention that later when you're talking to them, you can say, hey, I just joined, and you can tell them that, it didn't hold you back and all this stuff, but don't just assume that. So don't just go ahead and give them that opportunity to go ahead and become a loyal customer right away and not be a distributor. So don't talk about that. Don't talk about, hesitant 90 days. You can be a product tester. You can, at cost, all that stuff. That's just extra junk that you don't need to put in the message. And they're probably going to start assuming, oh, well, then I need to be a loyal customer, when in fact they weren't even thinking that, and they were interested in being just a distributor even though they hadn't tried all the products before. So just don't assume that so quickly. Yeah, and like the assuming rock star, like I love that. Like I understand why you're doing that, because obviously maybe you've gotten to people that are hesitant, and so you just want to acknowledge it right away. I just feel like you're going to kind of hold yourself back by just going ahead right away and saying, oh, you're probably going to be hesitant. Why don't you be a loyal customer? Then you can think about being a distributor. So don't talk them out of it, basically. Let's see. The other thing is I don't message people about the products. I feel like when I message them about the business, that is a gift. That is something that I genuinely want to help them do something for their family. I feel like when we're just messaging them about the products, it becomes that kind of salesy type. Now, if they have liked a post, or maybe they said something very specific that was a product that would really help them, okay, then maybe message them. But I don't message people about the product. So the Amanda liked messaging them. You kind of are basically just messaging them about the products, not about the business. So also the other thing is don't just send them, don't say, hey, can I send you the website so you can check it out? Like people are going to get lost. They don't know. It's just you're basically just sending them off into the distance, and they're never going to come back. So don't send them, oh, hey, here's my website. Check it out. Let me know what you think. You want to control the situation. So give them a little information here and there, ask questions, and really control it, because people get lost, people get busy, they'll get on the website, they'll get overwhelmed, then they'll just give up because they'll be like, oh my gosh, there's all these products, I don't know what to look at, so don't send them the website like that. Amanda, like you really need to think about messaging them about the business first, and then if they're, interested in, like not being a distributor and want to be a customer, then you can easily talk about being a loyal customer. So that's something you're just going to have to start kind of changing that up a little bit on your messages, because it's really just talking about the products, and you're not messaging them at all about the business, and they may not even know that they could be making extra income with a business. So that's just something you'll need to update a little bit. Let's see. Again, Kylie, I like your message, but you need to tell them why you wanted to make extra income, and if you're not sure why, think about it. Like I said, just make it the more personal you can make your message, the better. Again, leave out team. Don't talk about team. Again, I just wouldn't say, I know that I've like used it before, like, can I send you more info and stuff? Like, that's good, but also ask them questions like, have you ever thought about making extra income before? Like, talk through that with them, And then maybe you could say something like, can I send you more info, or something like that. And when they do say, let's say, yeah, you can send me more info, I'd love to read it, don't just send them a bunch of info. Ask them more questions from there before you send them more info. Like, say, okay, well, have you ever done anything like this before? What do you know about it works? And just kind of, so you can kind of see where they're at and see, what you need to message them and what info you need to get them. Because if they've done something like this before, then you can tell them, okay, these are some things that are kind of unique with It Works and what you haven't seen in other network marketing companies, so you can kind of compare with them, and there'll be certain things you can just talk about that they'll understand right away. Or if they've never done anything like this before, then you want to keep it really, 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 really basic. So really kind of ask more questions. Don't just send them a long list, a bunch of information. Really ask questions so you guys can kind of talk through it with them. So that has been one of the best tips that I've had this year, was doing that. Like, not just sending them a bunch of info, then saying, oh, great, okay, well then, asking them questions. Okay, so have you done something like this before? Oh, no. Okay, well, let's talk again. Like, what products do you know about It Works? Okay, talk about that. So you can kind of walk through, and then it really opens the conversation, so it's not you just sending a bunch of stuff and then having to wait for them to get back to you, so you can really keep the conversation open. Selling, don't say selling. That I think makes people nervous. Or business, don't use business in the message. It just, people get nervous. A lot of people say they're not salespeople, or they don't want to be salesy and all that stuff. But if you're saying, I'm selling It Works, I'm doing this, I'm working this business, people get overwhelmed with that and stressed out by those words. I know it seems silly to some of you because you're like, I don't understand, like, I'm a red, I want to make money and all this stuff. But a lot of people that you're talking to aren't that way, and so they want to know that it's easy, it's simple, it's fun, it's not this big salesy type job. So yes, they do need to share, just like they share about their favorite, restaurant or hair product they love or whatever. But really leave that stuff out. So, again, don't leave out perk points, stuff like that, free products. You can talk a little bit about the free product. A lot of that stuff, like perk points, it's like things that we know about, but they don't, and they'll be like, what is that? I don't know what that is. So, bonuses, that's easy. People understand that. Cash, you can say, we do cash bonuses. We don't do things, and so, and we don't do cars or anything like that. We do cash bonuses, so you can use the money how you want. And people like that too. Again, like mention, hey, have you ever thought about, I know I'm kind of repeating myself because a lot of yours, these messages are about the same, but, have you ever thought about making extra income, or would you like to make extra income or extra, cash or whatever? You should look at my company, you should do this, you should do that. It sounds very much like you're making it about you and not them, and so really just be careful on your words. Talk about go into talking about why they would be awesome and why you love them so much, and really compliment them. Take time to do that. So don't be like, you should do this, you should join my team, different things like that. Like, that's kind of bossy, and it really makes it, you're just really making it about you instead of them. And so they can tell that, and they'll want to work with people that are genuine. And so if they really feel that you're being genuine and that you care and that you're really complimenting them, even if they don't join right now, they're going to remember you later. So just really take time to think about that. All right, so I feel like I kind of rambled, but I just thought it'd be easier to do a video than anything else. I want you guys to go ahead now, and the kind of tips that I gave you, to message all of your people that are on your list. So if you are still I gave me some tips, but I'm still uneasy on what I should message, send me an updated message. You can personally message me, and I'll give you some more tips if you want. But so go ahead and do that, and that will be your guys' next task. And then I know I haven't really removed people, and so I know I need to do that. So I'll make sure that kind of give everyone another chance to get those first couple tasks done by tomorrow, and then I'll start removing people, and then we can talk about the contest that I'm doing with you guys for going Ruby this month. So we'll talk a little bit about that, but I really just want to focus on those that are actually working or interacting. So yeah, so those are some of your tips and just ideas. Like I said, make it about them, not about you. Don't use It Works lingo. Less is more. I don't even like to use Ruby or anything like that. Yeah, so, and if they ask for more info, send me, or you're like, I don't know what to see next, or they've messaged me back, go ahead and send a screenshot and send it to me. If you don't feel comfortable sending it to the group, that's absolutely fine. And we'll kind of talk through what to say next. But biggest thing is when they ask for more info, don't just send them a big old page of information, okay? So I beg you, do not do that. Say, okay, awesome, and then ask them another question. So you can go ahead and keep the conversation going. You can understand them a little bit more, where they're coming from, so you know the things to really hit on and things to skip over that's not going to matter to them. So yeah, I think that's it. So I will talk with you guys soon. If you guys don't like the videos, just let me know, and I'll go ahead and do something different. But anyways, all right, have a good day and get your messages done. Message all your people, and then we'll go on to our next task. Bye.